Hi guys, it's Blackie for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft. And recently, Matt at Black Hat Bushcraft tagged me to do a video where I answer 8 questions and then tag 5 other people. And I said I would respond. So this is my response to it. Now he's already stated the question, so I'm just answering along. And then at the end of the video, I'll tag 5 other people for them to answer these questions, and we'll spread it throughout the Woodscraft Bushcraft community. So, having said that, let me put my eyes on so I can read. I can see what's going on at 1,000 yards, but I can't tell you what's going on 2 feet in front of my nose. So, question number 1. What was your most memorable camp? That is a very difficult one. I've been camping most of my life, and there were many high water marks of things. There were times that I did something for the first time. There were very special times with very close friends. There were times of encounters with wildlife or something happening. So there are very, very many to choose from. But if I was going to say the camp that really would stand out, one that I would go back to in my mind many times, it was a place that I went to when I was young. I was 13 and I was leading a group of other young guys, and we were canoeing the Choctawhatchee River here in Alabama all the way to the Gulf. And that first night, we were on the river. We had paddled, probably 10 or 12 hours, and we were tired. We'd found a nice sandbar, and we'd set up camp, and it was the excitement and the newness of it, and being on your own, or being on your own hook, as we used to say. I can still see that. I remember that, the feeling of being grown up, of being out in the woods, of being independent, and feeling confident about being in the environment. So if I was going to pick a camp to be the most memorable, I would say that was it. Okay. Do you prefer, the second question, do you prefer solo camping or group camps? I really enjoy group camps. I love the camaraderie and the sharing individuality and us being together and the experience, because something that you don't think or pay attention to is something new for someone else, so it's an experience for them. But at the same time, I do really relish going out with my hammock and my tarp and just being me and being in the woods and listening to the nature. So I would say if I had to pick one or the other, it'd be solo camping for me. I enjoy going out and experiencing the woods in its purest form without a lot of, distractions or etc. So that's that one. Okay, question number 3. What is your favorite knife? Over the years, I've used many different knives. I've used butcher knives, I've used military knives, I've used K-bars, I've used just oodles and oodles and oodles of knives. But my favorite knife today, and the one that I've used for the last couple of years, is my Master Woodsman from William Collins. And that's the knife you've seen in many of my videos. It does all the functions I want in the field. And the experience I've gained over the years with other knives, this is where it's kind of culminated with me. I can skin with it, process game with it, I can process firewood kindling. It's more of a woodcraft, crafting knife, as well as being big enough to do the job. And so my favorite knife is the Master Woodsman by William Collins. A close second would be a bush lore type style knife. That knife design is very dear to me, and of course a Mora. Most people start out with the Mora because they're inexpensive, and I still carry my Mora. It's in my haversack. It is still a favorite knife, so those three would be my top three, but of it, the Master Woodsman. Okay, number 4. Where did you learn bushcraft / woodcraft from? I learned it from field experience, getting out there and doing it. I had a deep love of the outdoors from a small child. I was born kind of late in the family, so everybody else had already had kids, they'd grown. So when I was a 7, 8-year-old kid, I didn't have anybody to play with, so to speak. I fell in love with the Davy Crockett character and the Daniel Boone character, and I read everything I could find about them. And since my family actively hunted and fished, not for sport, but as part of feeding the family, this is something you did regularly to provide for the family, I was part of that. And so I got the experience of being out there. And you learn the most efficient way to do something. Often it was not, that someone said this is the proper way to light a fire. You watched, your uncle, your grandfather, your father, or cousin or something. They were the one tasked. You'd get to the place and they would say, okay, John, you're building a fire, you're doing this, you're doing that. And you'd be assigned tasks. And I got pretty good at fires. And you learn from your mistakes, and I ask questions. And so I learned it from my family. I learned it from reading. And the biggest teacher of all is I learned it from dirt time, getting out there and being willing to fail. It's going to be time, experience, and being willing to fail. Those three are what's going to teach you, and that's what taught me. Okay, question number 5. What is your favorite method for making a fire? Flint and steel. I know that comes as a shock because you haven't seen me do it a lot in my videos. I've mostly done ferrocerium rods. But I spent over 25 years doing living history using a flint and steel, and that's still the favorite romantic way for me to build a fire. And quite often when I'm having a camp with a group of friends, I'll bring out and start the fire, the council fire, the cooking fire, whatever, with flint and steel. It's just my favorite method. Okay, number 6. What is your number 1 tool in your kit? For me, my number 1 tool in my kit, and since we've already spoke of the knife would be it, but since you already asked that first question, I'm going to assume you mean beyond the knife. That's going to be my kukri. With my kukri, this is my machete, my axe, my digging tool, my draw knife, kindling, splitting, it's the shelter builder, it's the whatever. I have sung the praises of the kukri for 20 years, and if you had to give me only one edge tool, even though I love my Master Woodsman, it would be the kukri. Okay. Number 7. Do you carry a bug out bag in your vehicle? I do carry a bag with 3 days worth of supplies, food, water, basic gear, build a shelter, get me through, etc. An extra change of clothes, extra hiking shoes, and depending on the season. I did a bug out bag video series very early in my career. I probably need to go back and do it again, but I change out because here in the deep south, in the summer you're not worried about getting cold, but you are worried about overheating, so I'll be carrying more water and things to create shade more than say warmth. And in the winter I'm carrying a down sleeping bag and warm clothing. Those two swap out in the set due to seasonal. The basic kit stays the same of the fire, the shelter, shoes, etc. And it's just which season I need swaps in and out. Okay, number 8. What is your favorite stove? Camping type. It would be a Coleman stove. That is very much a nostalgia thing for me. I saw them so much growing up. Campfire is my number one way to cook. On camping trips, fishing trips, it's very accepted here in the South that you're going to pull over on a sandbar and build a small fire. It's not a big issue like you'd have out west, so a campfire is my number one. But if it has to be a stove, then it's going to be a Coleman stove, because I saw it and used them so much. I have one, have had one for 30 years. I use it a lot on trips where we're not going to be able to have a fire, or where we're going to be, it's just not convenient. It's hot, it's in the summer. It's very quick to set it up over here on the side, fire it up, heat up chow, heat up coffee, whatever, and not have to take the time to build a fire. And it's on and off real quick. So that's my favorite stove. Now, I know that it was supposed to be 8 questions, but I'm going to throw a bonus question, and I'm going to throw it back at who tagged me, Matt Mercer at Black Hat Bushcraft. Here is the bonus question that I want to ask. What got you to create a YouTube channel? You know, how did it come about? I created my YouTube channel because I found Dave Canterbury's channel. And although Dave wouldn't remember, I met Dave originally back about 92, 93, something like that, at a historic reenactment. And I never forget a face. I may forget a name very often, but I don't forget a face. And I was looking for a video about some archery, and I stumbled upon Dave's channel. And I enjoyed it. I began to follow it, and etc. And a good friend of mine had asked me about a piece of equipment that I had and wanted me to explain it. And I had tried explaining it, writing it out. This was on a chat thing. And out of frustration, I just decided to do a video. And so I posted that video. That was my very first video, where I'm explaining a junky kind of saw, an MXZ saw, and how you could put Sawzall blades in it instead. And from that, I started posting videos, and it was because I wanted to share. I have taught people how to camp since I was a teenager. Quite often I would take friends and just groups that wanted to go and take them out and be like the, I guess you want to call it the guide. You know, I'd be the one that showed them how to camp, set up, what gear they needed, how to cook on a fire, how to hang a hammock, and etc. And I saw the YouTube as an extension of that I could take my experience and share it with whoever wanted to do it. Yes, there would be a lot of people that disagreed. Yes, there'd be people that thought I was full of hot air, and there'd be people that liked me, and that's okay. The ones that do appreciate and understand the experience and take something from it, I did my job. I tried to pass on some of the woodsy knowledge. And so that's why I created my YouTube channel. It was because of Dave Canterbury and me being inspired to actually give it to you. So Matt Mercer, that's back at you. You have to tell why you got into this. Okay, now my 5 tags. These are the 5 people that I'm going to tag and ask to do what I just did and answer these questions. This was tough. I have so many people that I enjoy their sites, and I have a great deal of friends and things that I talk to about this, and many people talk to me regularly about bushcraft issues, woodscraft issues, and etc. And it was tough. And so I had to just literally pull names out of a hat. I wrote down names and then put them in a hat and pulled out 5 names. So if I don't state your name, don't take it personally. there's more likely your name is in the hat. And some of these are people that have well-established channels. Some of it, they've got small channels. Some of them are just getting started. But these are the 5 people I would like to tag for this. Okay, first up is William Collins. Yours was the 3rd name I pulled out, William, so you knew you were getting into this. I would like him to answer the 8 questions, just like I did. The number 2 one is Plant-Based Oklahoma Girl Outdoors. She has a channel and she's out of Oklahoma, and I really enjoy her videos and her hiking, stuff like that, and her bushcraft, woodcraft type stuff. And so I would like to tag her. Number 3, Donnie Pavellini. I'm sorry, Donnie. Pavellini. I will get it right. Donnie Pavellini Outdoors. That's my 3rd one. Number 4, Dan Lutz of AB Normal Outdoors. And number 5 is Thomas Ritter of K-Bar User. That's his channel on YouTube, is K-Bar User. And I'll leave a list of all of the 5 of these channels at the end of this video. Please go check them out, like them, look at them, and might be somebody you want to talk to. Guys, I've enjoyed this. I want to thank you for the opportunity to answer these questions. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask, please put them in the comments. If I get, say, 10 or 20 questions, I will do a question and answer video for you. Till then, I'm Blackie Thomas for Shaman's Forge Woodscraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.